Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are when you see this video. Thanks for joining me, Dorothea, on Through an Orthodox Christian Lens. I want to go over this letter that Ambassador Huckabee sent to the Israeli, foreign minister. So I'm just going to read this over because it's important. He says, on July 16, he said, "Dear Mr. Minister, it is with great distress that I write to you my profound disappointment that the meeting held in your office has not resulted in what I hope to be a simple resolution of the issue of routine granting of visas for Christian organizations and workers, as has been practiced for decades. I left the meeting with a very positive feeling that we had resolved the issue that necessitated that meeting. It had appeared that a staffing change in the Ministry of Interior resulted in an employee changing the long practiced process of granting visas to Christian organizations, a list of which is enclosed. The situation has actually gotten worse. 1. As of the beginning of 2025, the Visa Department arbitrarily ceased honoring the recommendations of the Ministry of Religious Affairs and has initiated an independent investigation into each of the evangelical organizations to ascertain whether or not they should be recognized as religious institutions and continue receiving visas. This includes many historic organizations, such as the Baptist Convention of Israel. I don't know how historic that is, but the Baptist Convention of Israel, Christian Missionary Alliance, Assemblies of God, etc., some of whom have been active here since before 1948. The vast majority of them have headquarters in the United States. They have all been required to fill out extensive questionnaires regarding their religious beliefs, their activities, their assets in Israel, etc., and to the best of my knowledge, none of them have received new A3 clergy visas since the beginning of the year, as they are all under investigation. As a solution, we simply requested that the Visa Department return to the status quo and recognize the recommendations of the Ministry of Religious Affairs, its own department. Number 2. There are a handful of Protestant/evangelical educational institutions active in Israel, such as the Anglican School under the Israel Trust of the Anglican Church, IBEX from Masters University, University of the Holy Land, and the Jerusalem University College, because they are all affiliated with churches or are the close partnership between the United States and Israel governments is at an all-time high, having just concluded a joint military operation that will hopefully curtail the threat from an Iranian nuclear ambition. For our more formal and cordial official request from U.S. Embassy Jerusalem to return to the status quo of long-standing practices regarding visas to be rebuffed and made worse is shocking and a source of inexplicable disappointment. Let me reiterate that we are not asking for special or out-of-the-ordinary treatment. We are simply requesting that the long-standing policy that has been employed for generations be continued. It is the abrupt change and additional burden and expense that has been imposed without explanation that we find bewildering. The United States and evangelical Christian organizations are your friends. We feel we are being treated as adversaries. I'm just going to insert this for a minute. A lot of Israelis do not like Christians. We've seen them spitting and mocking my Orthodox priests and other Christian traditions that are there, Catholics and, even the Protestants. So I don't understand why he doesn't know this. Again, I think he's finding this out. Let's see. As the U.S. Ambassador representing the United States and President Donald J. Trump, I am formally requesting that this deteriorated relationship with the Interior Ministry, that's what it is, the Interior Minister, be resolved so that the issue is not further escalated. Yeah, it is a deteriorated relationship with all that's been going on. Well, just to think, if he would have known about all the attacks on Christians in the church for the past 50 to 70 years. I guess maybe, I don't know if he'll find that out or not. He'll discover it maybe, who knows. It would be very unfortunate. It would be very unfortunate that our embassy would have to publicly announce throughout the United States that the State of Israel is no longer welcoming Christian organizations and their representatives, and is instead engaging in harassment and negative treatment toward organizations with long-standing relationships and positive involvement toward Zionism and friendship to the Jewish people and the State of Israel. So here, he's doing a warning here that's going to hit the Zionists for sure. Basically, that's not a good thing for the Zionists. We would further be obligated to warn Christians in America that their generous contributions to organizations to promote goodwill in Israel are being met with hostility, and that tourists should reconsider travel until this situation is resolved with clarity. Now, this is a good approach by Ambassador Huckabee. The sad thing is that why didn't he ever do this for the ancient Christians that have been living in this area for thousands of years? Again, why didn't he say that back then? Was it he just ignorant to the fact that there's Christians living in the Holy Land, and which is where they've always been, Antioch, Jerusalem, all this? Was he that ignorant? I don't know if he's that ignorant. Or did he just not consider, Palestinians, that there were any Palestinian Christians? Or did he really just not consider us Christians? Because I can tell you from past experiences back in 2006, 2007, there are many Protestants who did not think that Orthodox Christians or Catholics were Christians. Okay? But I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's ignorance. I don't know if it's just he didn't bother to look. Who knows? In any case, that's a good warning, because tourism is big in the Holy Land, and Israel's going to lose a lot of money. And money is everything to people. Everything. It's like money's an idol. Everybody worships money. Everything is about money. To be frank. Finally, and most regrettably, if the government of Israel continues to cause the expense and bureaucratic harassment for the granting of routine visas that for decades have been routine, I will have no other choice than to instruct our consular section to review options for reciprocal treatment of Israeli citizens seeking visas in the United States. Bam! Boy, he's coming hard. So obviously he's devoted to his particular Christian tradition, and that's unacceptable to him on what happened there. But as you'll see, I'm going to show something else. Surely this is not the relationship the State of Israel wishes to have with its best partner and friend on the planet. Israel is not our ally. They've done nothing for us. They've betrayed us through the USS Liberty, through other things. They don't care about us. And we only use them for our own strategic reasons in the region, in the Middle East. It's really sick, if you ask me. Now I'm going to give you what he said on X. He says, first I want to show that he, okay, where am I? I need to go back in. Okay. So here, he says he visited Taipei, which is great that he finally realized that, oh, look at that, there's Christians living there. Isn't that something? Taipei is a quiet Palestinian Christian village south of Jerusalem with a lot of American citizens. Well, there's some that has been, like Dr. Curry, that I mentioned a while back, Maria, that has been vandalized, including fires at ancient church. I visited there today. Desecrating a church, mosque, or synagogue is a crime against humanity and God. I do agree. Should never do anything disrespectful to people's sacred holy sites. It's just not right. And then he says, I work for all American citizens who live in Israel, Jewish, Muslim, or Christian. When they are terrorized or victims of crime, I will demand those responsible be held accountable with real consequences. Was in Taipei today to meet with people of that village to listen and learn. That's a key thing, to listen and learn. Well, what did he learn? Let's hope he learned something. Correct? Well, this is what he said most recently. After meeting with the Minister of the Interior and with the help of Israeli Prime Minister, I'm happy to report that the issue concerning visas for American evangelical organizations has been fully restored, starting in January. A change in the manner which visas for Christian organizations had been processed for decades led to serious challenges bureaucratically and financially for the groups. You know they did this. The ministry did this because they didn't want to lose the money. Okay? Let's just get that straight. Upon arriving in Israel as ambassador, I learned that the changes in the process were creating delays, costs, and significant burdens with paperwork. After a meeting with the Minister of Interior, we thought the problem was settled, but organizations continued to have issues. I informed the Prime Minister's office of the problem and pointed out how detrimental it was to the relationship of the State of Israel with the American evangelical community. You know, I'm glad he's pointing that out because it's really just the main Christians, generally speaking, supporting 100% Israel as the evangelicals. But anyway, the Christian organizations did not at any time ask for different or special treatment, but merely a return to what has been an efficient and satisfactory process for me. Yeah, he says all that. And then the attorney, Kalev Myers, an Israeli attorney who represents some 150 Christian groups in Israel, was instrumental in outlining the request, and the Prime Minister's office was supportive and involved in the resolution along with the Minister of the Interior. I'm delighted to report that the issue has been resolved to everyone's satisfaction, and the strong support that Israel enjoys from American evangelicals will continue, he says. I'm convinced the Interior Ministry was not fully aware of the change being imposed, sure, and I'm grateful he has personally intervened to completely restore the long-standing process. Please excuse my skepticism. American Christians are some of Israel's strongest supporters, and the resolution of this issue among friends is a welcome outcome. I want to say this. Ambassador Huckabee, why are you still a strong supporter of a nation that mass murders people, ethnically cleanses them, starves them, burns them, bombs them? Children, babies, mothers, fathers, grandparents. Can you tell me that? Can you tell me why you have strong backing? And if it's just because of your dispensationalist false teaching, you need to learn the truth on what that is, because it's detrimental to thousands, millions of people, even probably more than that, on this planet. So that's great, terrific. You have your organizations that can come in and out. No, isn't that great? Just don't forget the Christians that have been here since Christ was walking on the earth. In Palestine, Jerusalem, Nazareth, Antioch, Damascus, even in Iraq before the Iraq War had them fleeing. All these areas are holy sites for Christians and have been this whole time. So, you had an epiphany of realizing, oh, look at that, you know, there's these Christians here, and look what's happening to them. I just pray God reveals even more to you than that. As I think it was Metropolitan Theophilus taught, I know, actually, I heard that from my own priest. He had heard it from some other, he probably heard it from a saint, but, always pray, Lord, enlighten my darkness. And I say that as much as I can remember, as much as I can, daily, I hope. Lord, enlighten Ambassador Huckabee's darkness. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you got something out of this. If you'd like, you can put your comments below, on how you feel about all this. And I appreciate all your support and for following my channel and all this stuff, like my videos and everything that you do. I really appreciate all your support. Until